beautiful abandoned hotel that is on the mission radar today. I'm going to be exploring this abandoned hotel and doing some graffiti. Now, just giving you a bit of a landscape overview. This hotel is in the absolute middle of nowhere, so it's a little bit of a mission to get to because they've actually blocked off the access road to the hotel, so you have to take a whole other turn. So this is just some footage of the hotel. You see there, the big saw that I'd worked on previously. That took a while, to be honest with you, a few more hours than I would have liked. You can see through the gap there what we're working on today. So I don't know if you've watched many graffiti videos before. If you haven't, this is what you would call the outline, and essentially you just sort of draw out and sort of sketch like you would on a piece of paper on the wall what you're going to be filling in and doing. So this is sort of the basic rough outline. Usually I would use a lighter color to do this, just so it's easier if you're going to be using other colors. I use the top color for that, and now I'm just starting with the fill. So to do with these gradients, usually you start, but everyone has a different method of this and everyone does it differently. So I start usually with the darker color down the bottom and sort of fading upwards. But again, everyone has their own way of doing it, and there's no right or wrong way with this at the end of the day. It's art. If you could call it that. I don't know, actually. It's always been, I think, a conversational point to people with graffiti, whether they find it a nuisance or they find it artistic. I've always found it super relaxing and super artistic myself. It's a really good way to express yourself creatively. If you like drawing and painting, it's a medium that's really hard to work with. And as you can see, I'm not a pro at it. So I've been dabbling since I've probably about 14, 13 years old, but nothing too serious. I had a stint of, let's say, when I took it a little bit more seriously when I was about 15, 16 years old, and I lived in Switzerland for a little bit. There the graffiti culture is super big. So that was probably my longest stint of actually taking this seriously, but nowadays it's just a bit of fun. I kind of find cool spots to do, sort of take it like that. So now you can see I've got the fill mostly done, and I have shaded it, and I have sort of gradiented it, I don't think that's a word, faded it into the colors into each other. So that's what I'm sort of doing now, just doing the gradient bits and just getting any little spots that don't have full color. Keep looking at my artwork. You got to keep stepping back sometimes. I'm not rushing, it's not illegal graffiti, so I'm not rushing to do anything. So when you got that time and space, you can take a look and see what's happening, see where you might want to improve, or if there's any missing spots. He's about to go for his outline. The most nerve-wracking part of this process. It's tough not to fuck a line up when you're yeah, it's just, if you fuck a line up, you're having to either redo it or live with that line. And for someone that doesn't do this that regularly, fucking a line up can sometimes be a bit of a ball ache, to be honest with you. But yeah, it's pretty fun. I really enjoy the activity. Here you can just see I'm just getting those lines in. Have a little look. Little inspection. Sometimes it's really difficult to get a gauge of what the lines are looking like from so close to the wall. So that's why I take a little step back and sort of see where we're at with it. Thicken out those lines a little bit. Start to add the 3D. My 3D work is not the greatest, to be completely honest with you. As I say, like I'm nowhere near let's say proficient at this. So yeah, sometimes it takes me a little bit longer to get this stuff moving and get it right, but we persist. Just take another look, see where we're at. there's a few lines I already know that I'm gonna have to clean up. There's just some what would you call it, some inconsistencies with the lines at the moment, which I'm probably just realizing now. Again, it wasn't a perfect piece at the end of it. You would call this more than a piece, you'd call this more like a throw up style, but as I had the time, I was kind of taking my time with it. I think the overall piece slash throw up took me about, I don't know, 25 minutes, half an hour, so I've just put it on a ×5. Now he's going for the second line. I fucked up a couple of those lines already, but you can, is it easier to redo? Some people do this, the outline, the second line, before they do the outline, which, to be honest, I've actually never tried before, which I'm going to try. Next time I get out there, I will definitely be trying doing the sort of background in the second line, getting that colour in before, so you don't have to keep, so it's not such a finite process, because if you go over the black line, you go over your original black a little bit too far, then obviously you have to redo the outline again, and it just becomes a little bit of shoddy work. But I was pretty happy with how this has turned out. I'm just finishing up the touching pieces. You see I've just cleaned up a couple of the lines there, cleaning up a couple of those lines. There's some serious inconsistency at the end of that E, as you can see, which is just something that it's called can control. My can control is not the greatest, as you can probably see. It's okay, it's nothing to write home about. Oof. Yeah, there's a few inconsistencies, but I'm starting to clean it up now. I'm starting to see where it needs work. But overall, I think it's starting to shape together. I like the yellow outline. Thank you, Marta. It's my girlfriend. She chose that yellow outline. To be honest with you, the purple and the yellow works really well. I really like it. So, yeah, it pops, you know, it gives it that extra pop. Just starting to do all the little shifts and shimmies on the lines. What do they call them? Cut-ins, I believe they call them. Now I'm sort of thinking, oof, I'm starting to see this come together. I hadn't actually planned for any of these colours or anything. I just had a few colours left over from the previous piece that you've seen, and I went and brought a yellow. So turns out it looked like it could be some nice lightning, which I actually really like that little, I really like how that's come about. Really like it, actually. Starting to shape itself up a little bit more now. Got to put the year there, just so people, if they do come to this spot, they, not only when they're passing by, they can see when it was done, and also so they don't feel like it's an old piece that they can just go over, etc. It might just keep some standing there for a little bit longer. As I say, this is like a pretty out the way spot, so if people are looking for a good wall to graff, they could just paint over mine, and we're not in the legal graffiti scene doing this stuff, so it's not like you're gonna have beef and people beefing over graffiti. No, it's a well-used graffiti spot, so in these places you can expect people to go over your work. I tend not to go over other people's work unless it's really just like tags and really shitty throw-ups or whatever. Now I'm just adding a little bit of shine. I think that's what they call this. I would call it shine, or a little bit of shine. We'll go with that word, it's a good word. Still, my technique is, I'm always a work in progress with this stuff. I'm not, as I say, I'm nowhere near I haven't been doing this that often. I've probably done, fuck knows, maybe about 30 pieces in my entire life, you know. So maybe a little bit more. Yeah, maybe a bit more. We used to do a lot back in South Africa, and then the scene there when I was growing up in South Africa, there was quite a big graffiti scene down in Cape Town, but then it started to phase out, and then I moved over to Switzerland, and yeah, the Swiss graffiti scene is pretty big. Now I'm just based over, or half between Lanzarote and half between the UK down south. So both places don't really have that big of a graph scene. The UK more so than Lanzarote. So just showing you the final piece there. Now I really like this little square look through, this triangle, this triangle look through square. I think it looks really cool. There's the still. Youth. Little head over. Had to get the drone out. This is such a cool place to fly the drone around. I just hadn't flown the drone in so long, so it was a little bit difficult. I was trying to get my bearings, and the wind was absolutely howling through this spot here. So you can see the drone's like struggling to even make it for a straight line. That wind is like maybe 30 miles an hour on this side of the building. And for some reason it wouldn't let me go any further. I think it was because I wasn't logged into my DJI account, so it wouldn't let me go any further, which is an issue I will sort out. But yeah, it's just amazing landscape. Here I'm taking you through a tour of a couple of other throw-ups that I have done. Again, the wind was just making it very difficult to move the drone around. I go fishing over there actually. It's a really good fishing spot just down there. There's another saw throw-up. And there's another one you should see in a couple of videos that are coming up. I will put like the POV of me graffitiing those pieces, or throw-ups. I had the old head camera on for that. And yeah, that was basically my day. Really nice little day out. Really good little adventure. You see me and Marta there. Again, battling with the wind. Little head over.